Hi, my name is David Will. I am ready to present to you my presentation on Emperor Constantine and the Christianization of Roman Emperor. So you're welcome to our online discussion. Thank you. The topic is Constantine and the Christianization of the Roman Emperor. The key item to look at the introduction, objective of Christianization of the empire, Constantine's reason or conversion to Christianity, the rivaling gods and myths against Christian faith, conclusion and references. Introduction. The Roman Empire was the first kingdom on earth, the first being the Babylonian, the Persians, and the Greek and the Roman Emperor. So it was founded as a republic, and then something dramatic happened in 27 BC. Emperor October took over, and they ended the republic and make it an emperor. So this emperor lasts for nearly 1,000 years plus. In the West, it declined at 476 AD, but it lasted in the East until 1453 AD. So the West collapsed and the East continued. The key item was that this emperor grew under the Diocletian and became to be governed by one man. So it was divided by Diocletian into two, and then he introduced the rule of 4 men, which was called tetrarchy. And so he appointed Augustus and the Caesars, and the succession was never to be bloodlined. When an emperor, Augustus dies, then Caesars succeed them. Diocletian himself appointed himself as Kaiser of the East and Maximinus as Augustus of the West, and Galerius as the Kaiser of the East, and Constantine as the father of Constantine as the Kaiser of the West. Both Augustus lived office in the East and the West and succeeded by their Kaisers, or 305 AD. Constantinus, who is the father of Constantine, came into power and died before he took office. So, as usual, as it was stipulated, that this succession was never to be bloodline. So Constantine did not see himself as an heir, so he rebelled against Maxentius, the sons of Maximinus, who was the Augustus. So at the battle at Macmillan Bridge, Maxentius went into a battle with Constantine, and Constantine warns against him. Constantine converted to Christianity at 312 AD and ended Christian persecution. At the Edict of Milan introduced, which restore the confiscated properties of the church, and this also encouraged Christian faith to flourish under him. So there was relaxation of rule, tough rule, leading to the persecution of Christian under him. And this is a departure as to why there was a spread of Christianity, which was why many people converted during that time. Objective of Christianization of Roman Empire. Why did this new religion appeal to the Roman elites and to the Roman public? One of the things is Christianity was attracted to the ruling class and ordinary people because of its promise of future, as its eschatological outlook was appealing to the class, and particularly the rule of which I'll touch very briefly when time comes, about the rule of Son of God. So that according to Eusebius, was linked to the Romans and especially to Constantine, and that could have been a reason why he had to convert. It's not necessarily because he had that appeal and the freedom from other gods and the ritual and what have you. The other thing is Christianity rejected and allowed the pagans practices such as emperor worship, circus, games, blood, and all of these were outlawed. Christianity was well-organized religion in comparison to pagan religion. Christianity required commitment of people to it and the lack of desire or material thing of this world. So it was like to keep the ordinary Joe away from looking at the luxury and the lavages of rules of the elite. Then Christianity became a state religion at 3 AD at the Edict of Thessalonica under Theodosius I. So by the 380 AD, Christianity became the religion of the state because of the relaxation of rules. Now let's look at Constantine. The reason why Constantine converted into Christianity, I was a little bit skeptical about why this emperor had to convert, because other emperors were so skeptical. They wanted to be worshipped. They wanted their God to protect them. But this emperor shifted and believed in the God of Christianity. And one of the key reasons was because of that vision he saw of a cross of Christ that promised him victory against the sons of Magninius, who was Maxentius. So that was one of the reasons, believe that he saw a vision, and he believed strongly that there was a vision from God and a son of God who is Christ. So he was promised victory, and indeed he succeeded and he won. So he had no reason not to believe in that God who gave him a victory. One of other reasons was the eschatological future of Christian faith. And actually, this is very appealing. This was very appealing to Constantine. And I believe this was one of the strong reasons that the vision of Daniel 7 and Daniel 2 were linked to his own vision. And in Daniel 7, we learned that all the kingdom of earth were to collapse. And as I stated earlier, the Babylonian, the Persians, and the Greek. And actually, in history, they had collapsed. And these Roman emperors, when these men of God, if Caesar and the writer philosopher linked that vision to Daniel 7, there was no reason for Constantine not to believe that, because no man who is a human would not want their empire to last long and would want to reign forever. So the sons of God, vision of Daniel 7, was linked to the Constantine emperor vision. So that was one of the second reason why he had to believe. And then again, the third one was because he was raised by Christian parents. His parents, Constantinus and Helena, were Christians. So people believe before he actually converted in 312, he was already a Christian before then. So way then, because there was no way the parents would be Christian and the son would not be a Christian. So the reason why he delayed his baptism could have been because sometimes it was not mandatory to be baptized. Christ was baptized at 30 years of age. So that could have been a reason. I cannot definitively point, but I think that could have been a reason. Christianity was a new religion appealing to Roman people. So people were moving from the pagans worship into Christianity. So the emperors who would want to rule over them could not look away from that. Then Constantine was a believer in God, would not leave other gods and not have other gods. So that could have been the reason. So he left his sun god, which was actually connected to him, and he had this symbol, and he believed in this solar invictus god. So when he went into a battle with Maxentius, he was actually able to win, and there were signs that he was ruling of his god, the sun god, and believed in God. So there's no reason why he could not believe in that. And then one god, then many gods was one of other reason, and ended the battles. But then some of ritual of emperor which and all of that were burdened. Now, rivaling gods against Christianity, and people are very skeptical, with myself included, because it was later on learned, and the history and the research I've done point to the fact that this guy was a Christian, yet again, he was still having symbols of his gods, including the Apollo. So we learn later on at the Battle of Facha, where he got actually ill. He had visited the shrine of Apostle, which was in Greek. So there is a kind of mixed skepticality and technicality on whether this emperor was genuinely a Christian. But again, you look at what he did: relaxation of prosecution, building the churches, cooperating with the bishop. So you could not doubt, because sometimes you look at the action of the person, as Christ himself said, that listen to the Pharisees, but don't do what they do. So sometimes we listen to the words, and as well as also paying attention to what people do. So there's no way you could not genuinely say that he was a believer and he believed in God because of his action, building the churches, relaxation of the persecutions, and yes, and the spread of Christianity. And eventually that would have given momentum to the Christianization. So there was a kind of a mixed feeling about that. Then myth and heretic, he was able to condemn Arianism and Nativism, which demand purity of all those who believe. And then again, that myth of this God, solo infected as God, pleasing the Puritans and the Christian, again, that give you a little bit of skepticism there, because there's no God that appeal to both and become the true God, apart from the God of heaven who appeal and is appealing to men. So the reason why we reject all these gods is because there's no way they are our Lord, and God himself rejects them. So these kinds of mixed belief could not sit well with genuine Christians. So that would have been a myth that would have punched into the belief of emperor. And then this brings me to the conclusion. So without a doubt, Christianity expanded under Constantine, and because of that ending of persecution at the Edict of Milan at 313 AD. And Christianity also probably because this emperor converted to Christianity and ended the persecution. So you cannot doubt that. Eschatological outlook of Daniel 7 that was linked by writer Ephesians with the vision is so you could not doubt that. I think this, in my opinion, is the strongest reason why Constantine would had converted, because every government by a person who is a human would want it prolonged, and when it is prolonged, then that is a need for every human being. So this could have been one of the reasons, promising the future, promising the longevity, the Son of God ruling forever after the end of rule of men. So, and because that emperor worship also was the reason why people would believe in the longevity of the kingdom and reign. Now that brings me to the question. And this is the question I was, as I said earlier, I'm very skeptical about this emperor being a full Christian, because there were some of the practices he still did. And even when he became the solo emperor of the entire Roman kingdom at 325, research showed that he was able to bring those symbols of his gods, and they still appear in his celebration of the anniversary of taking over the entire Roman Empire. So that brings me to this question. Do you genuinely think that the vision Emperor saw during the Battle of Macmillan Bridge was from God or from God, including Solomon? Your thought, I would love to hear from you. What are your thoughts? Let me know. And during our class, we could discuss that. I welcome you. And from here, I ended my presentation. I thank you so much for listening. Thank you. Those are my references. Thank you. See you in the class. Bye for now.